process.
And of course there has recently been a very disturbing edge to this debate with death threats being received by some climate change scientists. Have there been any more to your knowledge, and how disturbed have those scientists been?
Look, sadly, I received one just this morning. So yes, I think anybody who puts their neck out.
What was the threat in particular you got?
Oh, it was an email threatening my life, but that's okay. We move on, and I suspect it's from the same people who propagate some of the misinformation campaign or the extreme behaviour we're seeing. So I think any climate scientist or any scientist who does enter into a controversial area will probably at some point receive a scare campaign or emails that are a little unsavoury and not too pleasant to read. We know there have been some very serious death threats in the past. This is completely unacceptable and completely against the democratic process. No Australian, no scientist should ever have their life threatened for simply doing the work they need to do, and that's getting on, doing the research in a really difficult environment to understand how the world works so it can be made a better and safer place. A death threat is completely unacceptable for anyone wanting to share that knowledge with the public.
Well, it's one thing to get on and try to get on with your work. It's a completely different thing to wake up to an email threatening your life. I mean, what do you do with these emails when they arrive?
Usually press delete, but I imagine the severity of the email might warrant further investigation. I think some of the scientists have gone to the federal police and they have been investigated. We've certainly heard reports of some changes in practice to secure the workplace within which some scientists work who have received the death threats. Again, this is unacceptable. So, I think the right measures need to be taken and the right amount of caution. Scare campaigns, death threats right across the spectrum, from the silly right through to the very serious, are unacceptable in an environment where we really do need informed debate.
Are you taking up this threat this morning with the federal police?
I won't this morning. We have 200 scientists here in Canberra, and I think it's important that they deliver a message to parliamentarians to respect the science and call on them to put a stop to this misinformation campaign or do whatever they can to assist that misinformation campaign stopping. I think that's an important action that I'll be taking today together with the scientists visiting Canberra.
And just finally, who are you hoping or who are you scheduled to meet in terms of political leaders, senior figures today in Canberra?
We have 200 scientists in Canberra today. They'll be here over the course of 2 days. There are hundreds of face-to-face meetings with parliamentarians on all sides of politics. We thank them for accepting those meetings. So the scientists will be quite busy speaking to them. As I said, hundreds of meetings. So that's a good thing.
Well, Anna Maria Arabia, thank you for your time this morning and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who knew it was such a tough and dangerous job being a climate scientist in Australia? Now,